This story takes us back hundreds of years to a time when trolls lived in our world. They were much stronger than humans and completely different from us. A king killed a troll's father, and as the troll grew up, his only goal in life became getting revenge for his father's death. So, this story is from long ago, when trolls were still around, and they were pretty different from humans. They were huge in size. Not only that, they were incredibly strong too. Around this time, we see a troll playing with his son Grendel near the edge of a hill. But suddenly, the king of Denmark shows up with his army. The troll spots them. So to protect Grendel, he quickly hides him behind a big rock up on the cliff. But the king and his soldiers reach the spot very quickly. The troll tries to fight back, but he just can't stand up to their sharp arrows for long. After being hit by the arrows, the troll falls off the cliff and dies. His son Grendel sees all of this while hiding. He's terrified, so he stays hidden. Now the king walks over to the edge of the mountain. He spots Grendel, but when he looks into Grendel's eyes, he sees only innocence. So instead of harming Grendel, the king and his men just leave. After they're gone, Grendel goes to his father's body. His father is gone now. He wants to move his father's body from there because huge vultures are nearby, trying to tear it apart and eat it. Grendel is really young. He's too small to move his father's body. So he takes his father's body back to their cave piece by piece. 25 years go by and Grendel grows up. Even now he keeps his father's head in the cave. He wants to take revenge on those who killed his father. Meanwhile, we see the king back in his own tribe. He's praising the priests, saying their tribe has stayed safe all these years thanks to them. There's a big celebration happening today. Everyone is having a good time, but from the mountain peak, Grendel is watching them and feeling the pain inside him. Honestly, all he wants is to get back at the people who killed his father. He's got a powerful, strong body. No human could fight him alone. That's why one night he sneaks into the tribe and kills 20 people. The next morning, the king sees that 20 of his warriors are dead. He's heartbroken. Even though there's no proof, they quickly figure out it was a troll because all the heads are missing. Meanwhile, we meet a warrior named Beowulf who is known for being a great fighter. He's fought many battles to protect his tribe. He's never lost a single battle. He goes to his king and asks what his next mission is. The king tells him he needs to go to the king of Denmark. They need your help with something. So Beowulf sets off on a long sea journey with his warriors. Meanwhile, we see the king of Denmark. He remembers that as a child, he once let a young troll go free. Now that troll has grown up and is killing his people to get revenge. That's why the king goes to the troll's cave and calls him out, challenging him. But he doesn't come out. Actually, Grendel is already out there. He kills one of the king's men. The king spots Grendel, grabs his sword and chases after him, but Grendel vanishes into the darkness. The next morning, the king is shown looking very worried. His wife tries to comfort him and says things will be all right, but the truth is, many of his best warriors are already dead. At the same time, we meet a witch named Selma. The queen tells her she can live inside their kingdom's borders, but Selma refuses. Selma has special powers. She can see the future before it happens. Meanwhile, over by the sea, Blue Wolf arrives in Denmark with his group of warriors. One of the king's soldiers brings him to meet the king, and from a distance, Selma is watching everything. People tell Beowulf that everything Selma says about the future comes true, but he doesn't really believe her. Then Beowulf meets the king, who is deeply troubled. But when the king sees Beowulf, he feels a little hope. He believes that Blue Wolf will be able to wipe out all the trolls. So they throw a celebration, and Beowulf announces that he'll wipe out all the trolls nearby so that the tribe is never attacked by trolls again. But the king warns him that killing a troll isn't so easy. He wiped out 20 of my warriors all at once. After that, Blue Wolf takes the king outside and promises that he'll get rid of all the trolls, no matter what it takes. Grendel is watching everything unfold from a distance. A few hours later, we see the priest outside deep in prayer. Suddenly, Grendel comes up to him. Grendel sniffs him but doesn't attack, and then he walks over outside the hall where Wolf and all his warriors are gathered inside. He knocks on their door. All the warriors inside get ready. They know there's a troll outside. Meanwhile, Grendel is laughing outside. But when Blue Wolf and his warriors rush out, they find no one there. Grendel's already gone. The next morning, Blue Wolf asks the priest, "Did you see any troll here last night?" He says, "Yes, the troll was here. I was praying to God at the time. He didn't kill me because I'm a Christian. Now, most people in the tribe follow pagan beliefs, but soon word spreads about this." After that, the priest baptizes lots of people and makes them Christians too. But Blue Wolf isn't convinced by all this. So he decides to go out with his warriors to track down the troll, Grendel. They head into the high cliffs, where Grendel has already set a bunch of traps. Remember, these are all skilled warriors. They carefully make their way up the cliffs. It's snowy all around. Wolf says, "I can't go any further than this. So we'll have to search for the troll right here and not go any further." After that, he goes to see the king. The king notices that more and more people from his tribe are converting to Christianity. He tells Beowulf that the troll always targets the weak. Beowulf then goes to see Selma, who lives outside the edge of the tribe. Beowulf tries to tell her about himself, but Selma says she already knows everything about him. Beowulf asks, "Why do you live outside the tribe's border?" She says, "My family was killed there, that's why I don't live there anymore." Beowulf asks, "Am I going to die?" Selma doesn't answer him. Just then, his warriors show up, and as Beowulf leaves, Selma tells him to take care. When Beowulf gets back to the tribe, he sees the king's men setting up traps to catch Grendel. Beowulf asks the king, "Has the troll ever attacked women or children here?" The king says no. He explains that there hasn't been an attack on the tribe for the last 25 years. But lately, for several days, a troll has been attacking our tribe again and again. He says, "I've lost many of my best warriors." After hearing this, Beowulf says he thinks the troll must have some connection to the tribe. He asks, "Is there some story behind all this?" But the king doesn't say anything and just walks away. The next day, Beowulf visits Selma in her cave and says he wants to know his future. Selma closes her eyes and focuses, trying to see something about his future. Suddenly, there's a noise outside the cave. Beowulf quickly realizes it's a troll. When he goes outside, sure enough, Grendel is there in the distance. He starts chasing after Grendel. Grendel climbs up onto a rock and shouts something in his own strange language. Beowulf can't make sense of any of it. Now Selma shows up too, and she explains that Grendel was saying he enjoyed making Beowulf run after him. Beowulf gets really angry when he hears this. He wants to climb up the rock, but no human could ever make it. Only trolls are strong enough to climb up there. Beowulf is getting more and more frustrated. Then he asks Selma, "He could have killed me, so why didn't he?" Selma tells him that Grendel only kills his enemies. And when she says Grendel's name, Beowulf realizes she's known him for a while. He asks, "Why did he come to your cave?" Selma says that Grendel always comes to protect her. "He'll never hurt me because I've never wronged him." Now Beowulf starts to realize that the king is definitely hiding something from him. So he goes straight to the king and asks, "Tell me the truth. Why does the troll keep killing your warriors?" The king just says he's a bad troll, that's why he killed my warriors. He claims there's no other reason. But you can see fear of Grendel the troll in the king's eyes too. That's why he goes to the priest to get baptized and become a Christian himself, hoping that will keep the troll from harming him. Actually, this whole thing is just a superstition, and now even the king has started believing in it. At the same time, Beowulf notices some kids bothering a man who isn't completely in his senses. That's why Beowulf goes over to him and gives him a hand. The man tells him, "I know you're looking for the troll." He says he knows where the troll lives, so Beowulf heads out with his warriors to go with him. The man leads them to the top of a mountain and points to a cave below, explaining that this is where the troll Grendel lives. They're going to need ropes to climb down to the cave. So Beowulf tells his men that they'll come back with ropes next time so they can climb down safely. On their way back by boat, Beowulf spots a little troll hiding nearby. There's also a troll in the water that tries to attack them, but luckily no one gets hurt. Everyone makes it back safely to their tribe. The next day, Beowulf hears that the man who led them to Grendel's cave has been killed. He immediately realizes that this must be the troll's doing. Angry, Beowulf gathers his warriors, grabs some ropes, and heads straight back to the top of the mountain. Soon they're all inside Grendel's cave, which is filled with bones everywhere. They also find his father's skull there, which one of the warriors breaks. Beowulf realizes that this skull belonged to Grendel's father, and Grendel had kept it safe all this time. Beowulf then goes to Selma and asks her what happened to his father, but she says she doesn't know anything about it. But Grendel is also going to die there, so Beowulf picks Selma up and takes her to the place where Grendel lives. He asks Selma to call Grendel out, but she refuses. She just says Grendel is about to die. Beowulf gets the message that Selma won't help, so he lets her go and leaves. Meanwhile, Grendel comes back to his cave and finds his father's skull smashed. He instantly knows it was Beowulf and his men who did this. Furious, Grendel climbs to the top of the mountain and roars in rage, warning everyone that he's coming for Beowulf and his men that night. When night falls, Grendel enters the tribe, ready to kill the king and finally take revenge for his father's death. There are lots of warriors there, and they all know that Grendel is going to attack today. So they start attacking Grendel. But Grendel is strong. He takes out many of the king's warriors one after the other. He takes them all out. But this time, he's actually looking for the guy who broke his father's skull. Grendel finds him quickly and kills him. But then Beowulf jumps in, attacking Grendel and trapping one of his arms. Grendel is forced to cut off his own hand to escape, but by the time he reaches the seashore, he dies from his injuries. And now Beowulf finally understands that Grendel the troll never harmed anyone without a reason. He only killed the warrior who had broken his father's skull. He asks the king, "I want to know the whole truth." The king tells him, "I was the one who killed his father." He explains Grendel was just a child then, so I let him go. But now he wants revenge for his father's death. Beowulf asks, "But why did you kill his father in the first place?" The king says his father stole our fish, so we killed him. Beowulf is stunned when he hears this. He says, "You killed his father over something so small." He says that was really unfair. Afterwards, they follow the trail of Grendel's blood all the way to the sea. The blood drops disappear into the sea. They realize that Grendel must have drowned in the sea and died. That night, everyone is happy and celebrates, but deep down, Beowulf is still disturbed. So he goes to Selma and asks her how she knew Grendel. She says, "One night he came into my cave. He forced himself on me and then he left, but he never came back after that. Maybe he realized his mistake and after that he always protected me." Actually, the two of them have started to care for each other now. So they end up spending the night together. Meanwhile, back at the tribe, Grendel's mother, another troll, attacks and kills many of the warriors. She even finds Grendel's severed hand there, which makes her even angrier. She kills several people and then leaves. The next morning, Beowulf finds out that the troll killed a lot of people in the tribe, including some innocent ones. Seeing all this, Beowulf gets really angry and decides he has to defeat Grendel's mother. So he makes his way to her cave. But to go deeper into the cave, he has to cross through water. He swims across and finally reaches the spot where he finds Grendel's body. But suddenly Grendel's mother attacks him. She's just about to kill Beowulf, but he manages to fight back by hitting her with a stone. There's a treasure hidden here too. Among the treasure, Beowulf finds a sword. He kills her with that sword, and just then a little boy appears, the same one Beowulf had seen before near the cave by the sea. This child is actually Grendel and Selma's son. Beowulf figures this out. He decides not to harm the innocent child and goes back to his tribe. He tells the king that he's defeated Grendel's mother, and the king is really happy, knowing that the tribe is finally safe. Afterwards, Beowulf goes to Selma and tells her about her son. He tells her he's absolutely fine. He says, "I didn't kill him." Selma says, "I knew you wouldn't kill him." Now that Beowulf's mission is finished, it's time for him to head home. Before he leaves, he gives Grendel and his mother a proper burial with all the traditional rites. As he sails back to his tribe, Beowulf sees Selma and her son standing together, waving goodbye. Beowulf is really glad to see Selma and her son together. But Grendel was wronged in this story. He was seeking revenge for his father's death, but along the way he unknowingly killed many innocent people too. He also did wrong by Selma. That's why Beowulf had to defeat him even though he didn't want to. If Beowulf hadn't stopped him, Grendel would have hurt even more innocent people. And with that, the film and this story come to an end. Hope you enjoyed this story.